given us every opportunity to see New York and to spend 4 days here. And Pickles is having a wonderful time, as you can see.
Coming up now in the Whiskas Household Cat of the Year competition, the short hair.
Just as household pets come in a variety of colors, they also come in a variety of coat lengths. And here the judge is looking at the cats with short hair. Look at the beautiful expression on this cat.
And pretty eyes, too.
And a lovely coat. You can see the condition overall. The judge is making her decision. And the winner of this segment is the short hair from Anaheim.
Peter Markstein now going over to bring the cat out.
His name is Tigger, and it's owned by Jean Kenny.
And Tigger is very appropriately named. Look at the tiger stripes. This is a pattern which we call mackerel, because the striping pattern resembles that we see on the sides of a mackerel fish.
And the audience obviously likes Tigger.
I don't see why they shouldn't. Tigger is a beautiful cat.
Now the judge will choose from among the best of the white, the best of the long hair, and the best of the short hair in the Whiskas Household Cat of the Year competition.
This is going to be a very difficult choice for the judge to make, because all of them are beautiful.
We should mention the judge for this competition, Daphne Nagus.
And she has made her decision
this very morning.
It's the white cat from New York.
Valentino.
Valentino is the winner overall.
Valentino, the Whiskas Household Cat of the Year. And the cat owner will be getting a trip to London.
He is owned by Orca Starbuck. This is Orca. Congratulations to you. Tell me, where did you get this baby?
He came from the animal shelter in Boston.
Oh, that is spectacular. Well, we congratulate you so much, and we thank you for adopting him and taking such excellent care of him. You can see the love written all over him. He is just beautiful. Congratulations again.
Oh, thank you.
Beauty, condition, and a lovely disposition. What a winner.
Gautier once described the cat this way: those delightful, quiet, mysterious, gentle animals with their electric shivers, whose favorite attitude is the prone pose of the sphinxes, which seem to have passed their secrets on to them. Stay with us. We'll be back to the Cat Show at Madison Square Garden.
If you were a football player, you'd be a place kicker. You'd be a great place kicker.
This cat knows exactly what he wants.
Whiskas Select Entrees with the select meats cats love to eat. Whiskas, the world's most preferred food for cats. And now, introducing Whiskas Chunks and Gravy, because cats just love luscious, meaty chunks and rich gravy. Cats are wild about new Whiskas Chunks and Gravy from the world's most preferred food for cats.
Peanut butter? Peanut butter Snickers.
New peanut butter Snickers, a whole new way to get satisfaction.
Satisfaction. Some people got the good, some just do not. Two new kudos have got them all locked.
Introducing new crunchy nut kudos and new raisins.
Now, who's got the good? They've got it. Who's got the good? They've got it. Who's got the good? They've got it. If you got the good, good what we got.
New crunchy nut kudos and new raisins.
They've got the good.
Cherished cat of the Orient, once you guarded sacred shrines. Finally, a food worthy of your heritage, Sheba. Real chunks of fine meats give this unique food its extraordinary taste. Sheba, to be served by people who continue to cherish the cat.
Besides showcasing the International Cat Association's finest competitors, cat fanciers can also take advantage of seminars that will help keep their cat in good health. Dr. Milani is conducting one of these seminars, and it prompted a question like this one. My cat is keeping me up at night and waking me early in the morning. How can I get some sleep?
Here we have an excellent example of a well-trained owner. Now, we have to give this cat credit. The other thing to kind of keep in mind is that some studies do indicate that human beings can exist on 6 hours of sleep a night. What I said before is that you cannot give in to these animals. Okay, if he knocks things off the floor, then get everything off the shelf. Put it away. Nothing is exposed. And grit your teeth and cover your head, and you do not give in to him, because as soon as you do, he's going to keep doing it. I mean, you just might as well go over there and pet him on the head and hug him and say, sweetheart, that is the most wonderful thing you can do, waking me up. I love it. And again, they're condition response animals, so you are doing exactly what he wants you to do. But also, in conjunction with this, remember that they are naturally nocturnal. You're coming into your breeding season, so there's going to be a lot to fire him up now. So when you go home tonight and that guy's sleeping, wake him up. And tomorrow, boy, he thinks he's going to sleep at noon? No way, little kitty calisthenics here.
If you'd like to make your cat shine like some of the stars of the International Cat Show, there's an expert on hand who will tell you all about grooming.
Grooming your cat is very important, whether it's a show cat or whether it's just your own home kitty. It's good for their skin, it's good for their hair to keep them clean. Also, if you have any allergies in the family, it removes the dander. It makes the cat feel better, and that's really important. Different cats need to be bathed at different intervals. Your Persian, a show cat, should be bathed every 5 days. Your other kitties, you lengthen it out. Where your short hairs, you don't have to bathe them too often. But it is healthier for any cat to take a bath. I use a comb very little on the Persian. Too many people will pull hair out, especially this is a kitten coat. This is an adult coat. And your kitten coat is real fuzzy. So I use a comb very seldom. Now on her, I use a comb a lot underneath because she's got such a strong coat. Use this kind of a brush, a pen brush, and I use it gently. I don't pull down, but lift and work it this way. After the cat is bathed, you use the brush to dry, and you dry them the opposite direction. So if the dryer is coming from this direction, you brush the hair in the opposite direction so that when the hair falls down, it stands out. That's why your Persian coats stand out so much. You can use a little teeny tiny slicker brush to finish up the kitty in fine, like around their face, and to finish their feet and even their ears. But you're never rough with the kitties. Too many people are too rough with their coats and too rough with the kitties. I start working my kitties as soon as they're born by loving them underneath. I turn them over and love them. If you're having trouble grooming your kitty, just practice loving it and talking sweet to it and getting it used to your hands on its tummy. That's the part they don't like. Another important thing with your cat is their nails. A lot of people think that they have to have a cat declawed. You will not have to have the cat declawed if you keep the nails cut real short and if, again, you're in control of the cat. Especially your Persians. They're very responsive to your voice commands. If you say no in a harsh tone, they will not do a lot of things. But you push the nail out, take the paw, and push the nail out. And then you clip it. And clip it as short as you can see where you're not getting into the blood. And keep those claws real short. That way, when they're allowed to get long, the cat is not scratching to sharpen the claws, but they're scratching to dull the claws.
If you're going to get a cat, it's a good idea to get some tips from a veterinarian. Dr. Robert Goldstein can show you what to look for.
This is a 4-month-old Egyptian Mao, and I'm going to give it an examination and show you what to look for when you're trying to buy a new kitten. This hole right over here. The first thing you should do would be to examine the cat's eyes and make sure that the eyes are clear and that there is no discharge coming from the eyes. You can see in this case that these eyes are perfectly clear. Second thing you should do would be to push the lips up and look at the gums and make sure they're a nice bright pink color. Third thing that you should do would be to examine the ears. Make sure that there is not an accumulation of black wax or any kind of waxy material in the ears. Now, of course, when I'm doing that, I'm using an otoscope, and I look deep inside, but you'll be able to look right in the ear and see if there's an accumulation of wax.
The Humane Society office, please phone Susan Richmond. Please phone.
Next thing you should do would be in holding the cat is to pick the skin up, all right? And the skin in a normal, healthy cat should snap right back. If the skin stays in an upright position, this usually represents dehydration, and the cat might have either vomiting or diarrhea or some disease condition. Just hold on for a minute. Next thing you should do, and these cats are usually with their mother, is to lift the tail and see if there's any accumulation of bowel movement. Now, normally when the kitten is with their mothers, the mother will keep clean everything. If the cat is having excessive diarrhea, you might have an accumulation down the back of the legs or underneath the tail. And then, of course, last thing to do is to feel the cat and make sure that the bony structure, that it's not all skin and bone. There should be meat covering the spinal cord and the legs, and especially here in the shoulder areas.
Dr. Goldstein, what's the biggest mistake that people make when they go to look for a cat? Maybe it's a shelter that they're going to?
Well, obviously, diseases are the things that they look for. You have to make sure that the animal that you have is not sick when you get it. And there are a lot of things that can key off to a disease. As I showed you in the examination, eyes, brighten eyes, no runniness from the nose, a skin and coat that's nice and shiny. Those are the things that you should make sure in advance are taken care of, so when you bring the cat home, it doesn't break with the disease, and then you're in the veterinarian just to start off the whole career right in the veterinarian's office.
Do people have any recourse if they've got a cat that's quite ill?
Well, usually with a kennel, with a reputable kennel or a reputable shelter, they will give you a number of days to get to a veterinarian for an examination. And within that period of time, if you do that and the veterinarian gives you a health certificate that there's something wrong, then that cat can go back to the shelter. My opinion is that you should always do the best you can to get that animal well, because if they go back to the shelter diseased, they'll either wind up dying or being put to sleep. So it's best, once you get them out, try to get them treated and treated properly in the beginning.
Shakespeare referred to the harmless, necessary cat. And in 18th century England, Lady Strathmore said she hoped never to go to heaven unless she could meet her own cats there. The Cat Show will continue from Madison Square Garden.
It's a collection of designer-name perfumes I only dreamed of owning.
Anne Klein, Spectacular by Joan Collins.
6 original fragrances for every mood, every encounter.
Gucci, Creations by Ted Lapidus.
6 famous name perfumes in their own exquisite collectible bottles.
Tea Rose, Samba.
To own one of these classics is a dream. To own 6, all originals, all mine, is perfect.
This collection of genuine designer perfumes, Anne Klein, Spectacular by Joan Collins, Samba, Creations by Ted Lapidus, Tea Rose, and Gucci. Over a full ounce of classic perfumes worth almost $200 in any department store is yours for just $29.95. To order using your credit card, call 1-800-351-7100. The 6 bottles add up to more than 1 full ounce of genuine famous name perfume that sells in department stores for up to $200 an ounce. But you receive all 6 perfumes for only $29.95 through this special promotional offer. Call 1-800-351-7100.
Number 7, Mickey Mantle.
Yes, it's Mickey Mantle.
In an exciting new video, the Mick tells you his own story, his career, his riotous escapades on and off the field, and much, much more. Meet a Mickey Mantle few fans have ever known. Learn the real story behind the infamous Copacabana incident. Feel the excitement of the record-breaking home run race with Roger Maris. Recapture the drama of Don Larson's perfect game. Watch Casey Stengel tie a Senate subcommittee in knots.
He was really putting the stinglese to him that day.
Hear the hilarious story of how Billy Martin shot a cow.
Billy was always a great one for jokes.
Meet Ford, Vera, and the great Joe DiMaggio. See some of the longest home runs ever hit. It's all here on one great video, acclaimed by critics everywhere. Use your credit card and call toll-free to order Mickey Mantle, The American Dream Comes to Life. Just $19.95 plus $3.50 shipping.
Order now by calling 1-800-336-5700.
People in need are not forgotten at the International Cat Show, and there are organizations on hand to help.
Powers is a total pet care service for HIV-positive people. We provide everything from food and supplies and vet care through temporary foster home care and adoption for people who don't have the services available to them. The responses to the organization has been really incredible. Most people stop dead in their tracks and say, I can't believe I never thought about this before. And we have a unique combination. We have people who want to help in the AIDS crisis and people who love animals. Anyone who wants to get in touch with us can reach us by dialing area code 212-744-0842, or they can write to us at Box 1116, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159.
The bond that exists between people and cats can be a very special one, and for some, that relationship can be the best therapy in the world.
Pet-assisted therapy, or as it's more informally termed in the media, pet therapy, is using animals in the treatment of people. The Council on Pet-Assisted Therapy was founded in 1984 and is a statewide coalition of organizations drawn from the fields of health services, animal welfare, and veterinary medicine. And the goals of the council are to promote the development of high-quality pet-assisted therapy programs in various types of healthcare settings. The response of the public to these programs is very, very strong. At our booth here, people coming by are expressing the strongest possible interest and support for these programs and indicating a willingness to volunteer in projects like the one that I've just referred to. And really, the success of these programs has depended in large part on the support of volunteers, because by and large, the staff for programs like this is very limited, and it's primarily volunteers that enable these programs to function.
Do you like to go shopping? Then the International Cat Show is the place to be. The Cat Supermarket is a feline emporium with a wide array of cat-oriented merchandise. What would a show like this be without T-shirts and sweatshirts? Just right for you or a friend. Mark Twain said it, if a man could be crossed with a cat, it would improve man, but deteriorate the cat. Don't go away. There's more to come from the International Cat Show.
Whiskas Select Entrees. A special Whiskas with the select meats cats love to eat. Whiskas, the world's most preferred food for cats.
I love these dogs. They're more than show dogs. They're our pets. Frankly, I think it's more important that I breed wonderful pets because show dogs are ultimately pets.
Candace Way, top breeder of champion Wheaton Terriers.
Pedigree Choice Cuts has lots of big meaty chunks. In a nice brown gravy, mixes very well with the mealtime. I think it's very important that dogs get meat. With a lot of love, a lot of hard work, and a lot of pedigree, your dogs can look like this.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
Hi, welcome to the world. Your mama is going to take good care of you for the first 6 weeks, but after that, Pedigree will. Pedigree food for puppies, developed with our veterinarians to give you the nutrition no other puppy food can beat, anywhere, at any price. And mixing the delicious Pedigree meat and crunchy dry gives you a taste you're gonna love. So dig in and grow healthy. It's gonna be a great life.
Pedigree food for puppies, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
Once, you lived in sacred temples, worshipped, cherished, adored. Finally, there's a food worthy of your heritage. Sheba, morsels of fine meat, especially selected for extraordinary taste. Sheba, to be served by people who continue to cherish the cat.
Joining me here at the International Cat Show, Dr. Solveig Pfluger, who's back with us once again for the Best of Breed competition. Dr. Pfluger, what are they looking for in the Best of Breed area? Is this a tough one?
It certainly is. However, to some extent, it may be easier than in the household pets because in the purebreds, we have a standard of perfection for each breed, a written description of what the cat is supposed to look like, and the judges go by that description.
A lot of work going into the preparation for cat owners in this competition?
For all cats and shows, there is a lot of work that must be done along the way in terms of condition, maintenance, and last-minute grooming.
And now let's go down to the stage for the best of the best. Dr. Pfluger, how did these cats reach this point?
Each cat has been evaluated by multiple judges during the 3 days of competition. The 5 cats who have accumulated the highest point totals are now being brought back for the best of the best in show. And here we have a Norwegian forest cat. As the name suggests, this breed comes from Norway, and they have a very dense weather-repellent coat in order to cope with the harsh winters.
Just stand right here.
And next we have a Cornish Rex. This is a breed from England. They have a very greyhound-like body and a lovely Marcel wave to the coat. And our next cat is a black Persian. This cat was second best of the Persians in the show. It's a beautiful, dense black color, has a wonderful expression to the face, luminous eyes, absolutely a beautiful cat. And the next cat is a Himalayan. The Himalayan is identical to the Persian in type, but has the coloring of a Siamese. And our final winner is a Calico Persian. This was the best Persian in show. Look at the lovely patches of white and black and red.
I think I am the only one that knows that information at this point. Maybe I and the 3 judges. All right. Does everybody have their favorite picked out? Does everybody know which one they want to have win?
This is the big moment.
Let's see if the judges did it right.
A lot of suspense here now, Dr. Pfluger.
Our 4th best runner-up is entry number 153.
The 4th best runner-up, 5th best cat in show,
by Ted and Cindy
is the
Schwartz
black
from Bethlehem,
Persian,
Pennsylvania.
Theodorables
This is
Abraham.
our 2nd best Persian out of the breeds. Lovely, lovely baby. Congratulations to you.
Now we move on to the next
All
one.
right. Our 3rd best runner-up.
The 3rd best runner-up, 4th best cat in show, is the Norwegian
Beautiful
forest cat.
Norwegian forest cat owned by Steve and Louise Clare from Corinth, Texas.
This is mainlines toward.
What a lovely
And what a
baby.
beautiful sight on stage with all these lovely-looking cats. And the audience seems to appreciate it, too.
And why shouldn't they? Because these
second
truly
best
are the
runner-up.
best of the best.
Entry number
Our 3rd best
236.
cat is the Cornish Rex,
Lovely Cornish
magic
Rex
band
owned by
in
Victoria
Boston.
DePietro
The Cornish
from
is a
New Jersey.
relatively recent innovation in the cat fancy. The first Cornish was found in
Okay,
1950
lovely
in
baby.
Cornwall,
All right.
England, hence the name.
Our very best runner-up.
Our
Entry
second
number
best cat in
121,
show
a
is
beautiful
the Himalayan.
owned by Lynn Aubrey from New York.
Look at the beautiful cat and the happy owner.
Magnificent Himalayan. Absolutely beautiful.
This is Kaylin's Mystified.
Congratulations to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud and pleased to present to you our 1991 In-Cat's very best of the best cat in show, this lovely Calico Persian. Entry number 166. This cat comes to you from France. It is owned by Ms. De Felici Antonio. Absolutely beautiful cat, all the way from France to win here today.
And how appropriate, Dr. Pfluger.
This is truly an international cat show with breeds and cats from around the world.
Congratulations to the winners, and here's a look at some of the new breed cats not yet recognized for championship competition. We're coming right back to the Cat Show at Madison Square Garden.
Worshipped, cherished, adored. Glorious cat. Once you lived in splendor, fed only on the finest cuisine. Finally, a food worthy of your heritage. Sheba. Natural chunks of fine meats, especially selected for extraordinary taste. Tender chunks in natural meat juices. Sheba. Beef, turkey, chicken, poultry liver, whitefish, salmon. Sheba. To be served by people who continue to cherish the cat.
Peanut butter? Peanut butter Snickers.
New peanut butter Snickers, a whole new way to get satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
If you were a football player, you'd be a place kicker. You'd be a great place kicker.
This cat knows exactly what he wants.
Whiskas Select Entrees. With the select meats cats love to eat. Whiskas, the world's most preferred food for cats. And now, introducing Whiskas Chunks and Gravy. Because cats just love luscious, meaty chunks and rich gravy. Cats are wild about new Whiskas Chunks and Gravy from the world's most preferred food for cats.
And that rings down the curtain on another International Cat Show. Our congratulations to the winners. The Whiskas Household Cat of the Year, Valentino. The Best in Show, Queen's Party Favor from France. The Johnny Cat Look-alike, Barney Rubble. And if you'd like information about other international cat shows throughout the year, contact In-Cats in Austin, Texas. The 1991 Cat Show has been brought to you by Sheba Food for Cats, proud supporter of the 1991 International Cat Show. Thanks for watching. For Dr. Solveig Pfluger, I'm Bill Deal. And goodbye from the International Cat Show at Madison Square Garden. playoffs are coming up fast, and the Knicks can write their own tickets. With a new motion offense and a look of resurgence, the postseason could get interesting. Be there as the Knicks take it down to the wire. The Knicks wrap up their Texas swing in San Antonio against the Spurs. Tuesday night at 8 on MSG2.
This week, a special edition of Coca-Cola High School Sports Week as the student-athletes speak out.
You have to do your own thing. You can't, be reaching for just the name brand schools. You've got to go where you think you're going to be happiest.
Thursday at 7 on MSG.
The Yanks are in Fort Lauderdale to take on the Baltimore Orioles after Sports Desk and Scorecard. Friday at 7 here on MSG Network.
Information they can. The fact that they're testing to see the flow patterns and the current patterns at that part of the bay doesn't tie them into to some theory that they believe the person responsible for those paintings is responsible for death. It's just one aspect of the investigation that has to be completed. So I wouldn't put too much emphasis in just that part of it.
Lise, is it creating a sort of a media circus without, and skirting around the gag order? I mean, maybe he doesn't say that much, but I mean, the lead defense attorney doesn't need to be there for these boy tests. You'd leave that to hydraulic engineers.
And he doesn't need to be walking around with sort of the drama of the big evidence envelope and all of that.
Garagos was hired in part because he is so good with the media. He knows how to play the media. He knows exactly what's going to happen when he goes out there and does all of these tests. He's drumming up, attention to the case and again, seeing what's going to fly by throwing out these different theories, whether it's the satanic cult or it's Don or someone else who did it. He's getting public and the media reaction to find out, in a larger sense, what's going to actually play in front of a jury when he goes to trial.
Both sides are fighting the notion of cameras in the courtroom. Jan, if the defense has such a powerful case as they have promised, why wouldn't they want people to hear it in court?
Well, I think that they're basically trying to minimize the prejudicial pretrial publicity surrounding this case, but I'm not a big fan of excluding televisions from the courtroom because, quite frankly, the press is invited in and they can report everything to the newspapers, in the radio and television. It can be disseminated that way. So I think they're just trying to understandably minimize the prejudicial pretrial publicity, but I quite frankly think the First Amendment probably outweighs whatever minimal prejudice might flow from television coverage. So I'm not a real supporter of that motion.
What are the chances, Lise, that the judge is going to ban cameras from the courtroom for the preliminary?
John, usually I would say I would want the camera in the courtroom, and of course I do want the camera in the courtroom, but here I think the judge is on a much safer route if he decides not to keep the camera in the courtroom. It's more consistent than with the gag order. He's issued a gag order saying, we can't talk about it, so now the consistent thing to do would be to say, and we also can't have cameras in the courtroom. Protecting the case from appeal for Garagos and the others to be able to say, look, Judge, you didn't do everything you could. You didn't stop the publicity that you could have stopped, and therefore Peterson didn't get a fair trial. He would be much safer, I think, in keeping the cameras out of the courtroom, even though I'd like to see them there.
Talking about just the preliminary or talking about the entire case, Lise?
Well, certainly for the preliminary, and then again, the motion will be made at trial. I would think, though, again, it would be safer for the court, unless Garagos, here's the thing, unless Garagos comes forward and changes his mind and says, okay, we're for having cameras in the courtroom. Then the judge could say, all right, according to defendant's motion, I'll grant that. What he doesn't want to do is rule against Garagos and then have Garagos or the appellate attorneys come back later and say, Judge, you screwed this up by allowing cameras in the courtroom.
Jan, any predictions on the camera question?
Well, the court just can't take the safe route. They have to take the constitutional route, and I think that they're likely to allow the cameras in. I think they should, and I think the public at least has the right to know this. I think they can minimize whatever impact it may have on the publicity at some later point.
But Jan, that's up to the judge to decide. It's under the judge's discretion whether to allow the cameras in the courtroom or not.
No, you're right, it is, but the public has a compelling interest, and certainly there's going to be some pressure from the television, print, media to keep this open, so it is a judge's decision, but I think he should come down in favor of openness.
Jan Ronas and Lise Wheel, thanks very much for being with us. And coming up next hour, we're going to talk with Bruce Rayburn. He is one of the artists who says, hey, he painted that graffiti wall we just showed you. Coming up, creeping up on Saddam Hussein. Our troops said to be closing in on the former Iraqi dictator. How close are we, really? And it's off to the races for Arnold and 134 other gubernatorial hopefuls out in California. They are all certified. All their names are going to be on the ballot. And one of the hottest pop stars around, Aaron Carter, on tour. Gather the girls. He's stopping by our studio to tell us where he's going.
All these CDs have to.
And the Kahuna, take a look at this morning's early movers, plus your answer to our squawk back question of the day. Vote on CNBC.com. You can have just a moment.
Saks First, the program that rewards you every time you shop at Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks First members receive an annual gift card, plus other exclusive benefits. Saks First, simply the most rewarding.
The Westin Modern Luxury Weekend. Book by August 15th. Visit Westin.com.
What do we have here?